Alright, hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I think mine is going to be rather peaceful, so that's practically wonderful. So we have just a bit of Endwalker to wrap up, because I really felt like I needed to take a break yesterday. It was almost 10 hours of streaming with almost no breaks. So, let's see. How it goes. Okay, so Kryl is talked to. Who's next? I think the sweet crybaby is due next. Nika, seen to your preparations, have you? I'm just making another sweep of my belongings. Wouldn't do to find I've forgotten something halfway to my destination. Which is... Oh, in case you hadn't heard, we've received new reports detailing the devastation caused by the final days. It appears the situation is gravest in the lands surrounding the Bounty, where the sky first began to burn. Bounty, huh? After that, the calamity was observed in the north, in Garlemald and the frozen lands beyond. We also had reports of the heavens catching fire in isolated locations, one of which was an area in the northern empty. Had our quest taken any longer, Charlayan too may have come under threat? I don't know. Thank goodness it's over now. To be sure, blasphemies and lesser beasts may still be roaming about, but these localized crises should be well within the capabilities of each nation to handle on their own. The scions are no longer needed. Which isn't to say that we won't help out where we can, of course. As individuals, no more... as individuals, no more of this order business. For my part, I'll be heading to Garlemald with Alfinor. They were among the worst affected and still need all the help they can get. It won't be easy. An inevitable part of aiding those in need is coming face to face with tragedy. Knowing it doesn't make it any easier though, that I'll curse my weakness, my inability to fix every problem and save every lost soul. But no matter how much it hurts, I won't give up. I'll do what I can for as many people as I can, begrudging no effort. And should I find myself discouraged, I'll remember you. Think back fondly to one of your many moments of triumph and the accompanying determined expression. Even those that still annoy me in retrospect, like when you activated the teleporter without warning. Okay, that was such a badass scene. And should you hear about me, I want you to remember too. Remember that I'm out there somewhere trying my very best. I look forward to hearing all about... That's some Freudian slip. I look forward to healing. I look forward to hearing all about the legendary Alice Leveilleur. Think you can keep up with me? Okay, let's go with the first one. Not that I'm trying to become famous or anything. That being said, the next time we meet I'll be vastly improved, so don't be surprised when you find yourself marveling at me. Okay, I would say Urianger next, but here are some people I missed a moment ago. Oh, are we saying our farewells too? I hadn't at present planned on a journey of great length. Not that I am averse to a moment or two of quiet reminiscence. In fact, there was something I'd been meaning to ask you, something that has been in my thoughts since the last flames of the final days subsided. During our travels, we have witnessed more than a lifetime's worth of oddities and spectacles, more than can be easily recalled or remembered. And nestled among those memories are certain essential facts, the history of Eteris and the ancients, glimpses of the Ea, of their culture and philosophy. Rather than simply hoard such treasures in mind, I wonder if I should not be disseminating them in formal records for wider consumption. When needed, I have penned reports and prepared briefings, but ever have I balked at the idea of binding the subject of my studies in a book or tablet. Truth is given shape in interpretation. When we seek to capture it with our words, it is invariably molded to fit a narrative, no matter how well intentioned the rendering. An event is described as sad, a summation which fails to express the emotional complexity. Yet the word on the page is what endures, a pale shadow of reality. Throughout history, some have deliberately embellished the truth, but I believe many, if not most, deviations are the result of similar linguistic shortcomings, piling one upon the other until the end result is unrecognizable from its origin. Which is why I fear that writing an account in my own words would be akin to diluting fine wine with water. Yet even with the potential for corrupted meaning, I do of course realize the importance of keeping written records. Without them, my search for wisdom would be a painful affair indeed. But what say you on this matter? Should I take up the quill, reflect upon those experiences only we have shared, and seek to preserve them for posterity? Well, or you could let me do it and get my Archon title, perhaps? Aye, let them be read and remembered. Very well then. I shall endeavor to pen what I can of the Ea and the ancients and of so many other wonders. But I am no scribe. It will be less a polished work and more a reordering of scattered notes. In any case, I feel much better for having sought your opinion. Left to our own devices, we tend to overthink such things. I will otherwise return to following where my curiosity leads. After all, a safe method of travel to the first yet eludes me. Excuse me. And our venture into the great expanse has prompted an entirely new set of questions. Should you stumble into the unknown or struggle with some impenetrable mystery, know that I am at your beck and call. It never hurts to see things. Okay, what the fuck just happened? They showed her boobs first? Or cleavage? And then she's talking about a different perspective? Anyway, it never hurts to see things from a different perspective, and mine is rather different than most. Oh, Nika. Might you have a moment to talk? With the science stepping away from the public eye, I've been left to consider what new endeavors I might pursue. And after speaking with Kryl, I've decided I will be assisting her in rebuilding the students of Baldesion. Not only am I indebted to Master Galuf for giving me a new home, but had our order never existed, I would have never set foot within the Crystal Tower. How different my life might have been. I would have never met you, never become caretaker of the tower, never become a scion. You gave me the chance to do so much good, and I hope to continue to do so with the students. For an added benefit, new mysteries often find their way to our doorsteps. Mysteries that could prove ideal for fulfilling our promise, to embark on a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. Whenever you have the time and the inclination, my friend, I stand ready to accompany you unto the unknown. Do you recall in the realm of the Omicrons when I asked if you thought I may someday be mentioned in your epic? While it is true that to earn a place at your side would be the stuff of dreams, in the end, nothing would give me greater joy than to stand with you in the here and now. It needn't be some grand endeavor. There needn't be a promise. Whenever an adventure calls, I won't hesitate to invite you, and I hope that you will do the same for me. As long as you don't overexert yourself. Grandpa. Or without a second thought. Let's go with the first one. Huh. I'll hold you to that. As much as we have already seen, there's still so much we haven't. Who knows, perhaps we will even encounter survivors of the Omicrons somewhere out there. After all, given how they took to the stars, it isn't implausible that some found themselves far from home. And should we encounter a wayward traveler awaiting commands that will never come, I would bid them seek adventure with someone, and with that partner find a new purpose, a new dream. For if crystals can hold fast to dreams, why not omicrons? Wherever your plans may lead, do not hesitate to send word, and should a commission of interest come my way, you will be the first to know. I feel like the music got a bit too loud. Okay, so Tancred, Urianger, Alfino and Destinian. Okay, as much as I enjoy those characters, I think this might be getting a bit long. Ah, our champion and savior. I was beginning to think my chance for an audience would never come. Ahem, that sounded more amusing in my head. Speaking of heads, I was worried about yours, and the rest of you for that matter. On the mend, I trust? Glad to hear it. You were in a bad way, and healing magics or no, I am impressed of how swiftly you've recovered. Then again, this is hardly the first time you've cheated death. Your strength of will has never failed to astonish me. Look at what you've accomplished. Meteon defeated, her Song of Oblivion cut short, the source and all her reflections delivered from the final days. If you had faltered at the last, then all hope would have been lost, but you held fast. Now Rhine has a tomorrow to look forward to, and I could ask for no greater gift than that. As for a lesser gift, however, the next time you see her, I would appreciate you not describing my travel plans with Urianger as aimless wandering. With a purpose in our roaming, after all, keeping an eye on things in the absence of the science on the world stage. There'll never be an end to the little problems that go unattended by nations. We will do our best to help out where and when we can. Which I suppose is an approach not far removed from aimless wandering when you get down to it. Perhaps you could tell her I am faring well and leave it at that, eh? No need to mention this feeling of being uprooted. I've never been one to stand still for long, but when I think of home, 'tis the rising stones which comes to mind. How many times have we set out from this base, thence to return when our work was done? I don't know, I feel like this place could do a renovation. This stone floor seems a bit unwelcoming. On the day the Scions came together, I only hoped for Minfilia to find a place where she belonged, but never did I expect to find one here for myself. Indulge me, Nick, I have a question for you, and imagine Minfilia herself was asking. Are you glad you joined the Scions? Well, I would probably not be able to save the world, according to the story, if it went any other way. Best decision I've ever made, or there's never been a dull moment, that's for certain. Best decision I've ever made. I can honestly say the same. But all good things must come to an end, at least for a time. Should you need a helping hand for infiltration or reconnaissance, you know where to ask, who to ask. I'll come running and you'll likely get a certain funny-talking fortune teller into the bargain. Okay, we got a song from Xenia, so let's hear it. That's the second version of the Bannered Mare song from Elder Scrolls. So here goes. Sorry for the too loud of a start. I think I should start those with 75% loudness. So gonna take notice of that for later. Okay, Urianger. Okay, about the song. I think it's nice, though a bit simple. Like it sounds like a remix from the 80s that I know it's a bit too simple for me, I think. Like it's trying to be catchy, but instead opts for being simple. Okay, let's go for Urianger. Nika. Oh, no. Do I really have to read him? Nika, thou hast spoken with our comrades. Though this parting be not forevermore, 'tis nonetheless occasion for sorrow. Akin to a pixie's path, the navigation of such farewells is a perilous endeavor indeed. For their part, however, the Leporids embark upon a new beginning. Though bereft of its purpose as a vessel, the moon yet remaineth hospitable for the creatures of Eteris. Thus do our lunar visitors convene with the Forum, intent upon assigning some new and beneficial role to our solitary satellite. Yet, ere they may come to pass, there is much and more each party must learn of the other, a process which doth promise to be eventful indeed. To that end, a cadre of Leporids, have gleefully dispersed across our lands in the name of mutual understanding. Hydaelyn, this said, did imbue them with her love for all things born of this star, and 'tis Venet's own nature, I believe, which doth manifest in this irrepressible, inexhaustible curiosity of theirs. Having witnessed that which they strove to achieve, I wish most keenly for their long labours to be rewarded, that their abiding affection for men result in a boon for all. Moreover, I hope to continue our acquaintance and share in such knowledge as they see fit to impart. Acquaintance? I'd call it a friendship. I'd call it friendship. I did not wish to presume. I would be honored should they consider me a friend. For it is certainly true that I have grown fond of their company. But I shall digress no further. This day should belong to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, to mine incomparable companions. Ofttimes have mine reticence, whatever that means, caused thee grief, and mine actions spurred allies to suspect betrayal. And yet here amongst you I still stand. No amount of words I could express my gratitude for thine acceptance and forgiveness. Thus instead I do prefer my humble support, be it into the deepest abyss or the highest heavens, even if I must needs founder cross stormy seas, ever shall I answer thy summons. Okay, so we have those two. Oh, Nika, pray forgive me for delaying the gathering. I was writing a letter, you see, to my parents. As busy as father has been tending to the aftermath of the Exodus, he has been good enough to show concern for the scions. And besides, I've made them worry enough for a lifetime. Henceforth I will endeavor to write as often as I am able. A little effort to set their minds at ease while we continue to be away from Sharlayan. Both Alice and I are off to assist with Garlemald's recovery, you see. Though uncertainty remains over what will become of the nation, we cannot well leave the capital in its present state. We will rejoin those members of the Ilsabard contingent still stationed there. Lucia and Maxima helmed a relief effort with support from our allies, the people of Garlemald among them. They will gradually be joined by those who have finished treating the tempered across the lands. Lest you misunderstand, we do not seek redemption for failing Licinia and her sister. That is a burden we must always bear. Nay, we go because of the truth in Lord Quintus's words. The truth that whatever ideals individuals may espouse, nations are not moved to actions unless they stand to benefit. For the foreseeable future, the fallen empire will be at the mercy of both internal and external forces. And though I do not doubt the intentions of the contingent with greater powers involved in the relief effort, our allies may well find themselves drawn into a political agenda. In going, we seek to ensure that the needs of the people come first, to understand their hearts, that we might better help them to begin anew. I'll visit when I can. By all means, full glad would I be for your visit, and I believe I speak for Alize as well. For fairly as long as I've been in Eorzea, you've been at my side, watching over me in good times and in bad. How many times have we gathered to share tidings? None could possibly keep count. The world is changing and will continue to do so, yet no matter what the future brings, I hope that I can ever look to you, in good times and in bad, as a dependable comrade and dear friend both. Thank you, Nika, from the bottom of my heart. And last but not least, kinda how I hoped it would go. If you have something to say, then out with it. Just wondering how you'll earn your keep now. Just wondering how I'll earn my keep now. Let's go with him. You talk as if the science dissolution was more than mere pretense. There may be fewer calls to action, but we should be compensated as before. Why are you so concerned for me anyway? In any case, I do not want for options, even if some are worse than others. No sooner did Imeric hear about our disbandment than he offered me a position as a guardsman in the Imperium district. As a former Azure Dragoon, I am guaranteed to be popular, he said. Who does he take me for? Even without his meddling, I am perfectly capable of finding employment, and have. Some days ago, a Hunnish envoy arrived with word from Vritra. The worm requests my presence as soon as things have settled here. He didn't deign to mention why I'm needed, but it pertains to dragons, like as not. In Tavnir, like elsewhere, the phenomena caused by the final days abated when you defeated Mithian. Though it was too late for those who had already transformed, life is beginning to return to normal for the survivors. Of those who sought refuge in Sharlayan, most have already returned home. But many do not have a home to return to, nor loved ones. By an arrangement between Vritra and the Forum, such souls may remain in Sharlayan if they wish, to work and study. Vritra was always the satrap in truth. It's gratifying to see him become one in name as well, one who has the complete confidence of his people, if the envoy's tone was any indication. I often find myself speaking favorably of dragons of late. Not so long ago I would have assumed his benevolence hid ulterior motives, but it's clear he cares for his people, and they in turn revere him. Revere? To know such a nation may flourish is comforting. Vritra's kin sought release from conflict, so weary were they of the suffering it wrought, they surrendered to oblivion. But Midgard Summer didn't give up. In hope he made the journey to distant Eteris with his clutch of eggs. And though his progeny went on to be embroiled in conflict with men, there were times when they transcended hatred to abide in harmony. That is their legacy and their triumph. In my lens, I feel the weight of their struggle and the strength of their resolve, and it lends me strength. These things I might never have learned had I not joined you. Should you ever have need of me, I will come. At the very least, it might be an opportunity to earn coin. Okay. Are we positively done? Hey Tataru. Spoken your fill, have you? If so, I'm thinking to send everyone off. Leave the rising stones? Yes. With your permission then. Your attention please. At risk of spoiling the mood, the time of departure is upon us. In my capacity as your receptionist, I bid you all safe journeys. Till next we meet, be well. Wind up Herua. Come on, you know who this hero is. You know who... Okay. I do? Argos Horn. Reaching across time and space, the sound of this horn brings Argos bounding to your side. Okay, I was wondering how to get that mount. Endwalker Footfalls Orchestral Roll, Flow Orchestral Roll. Okay, that looks like Venat.
I suppose we're off to Garlemald then. Though we ought to speak with Lord Emmerich first. If he's received word of any recent developments, we need to know.
'Twould be prudent to purchase some warmer clothes at least. Mayhap we can pick up a few souvenirs for Eulis and the others while we're at it.
Where will you all be heading next?
Dravania. There is a book I've been meaning to borrow from the Great Google Library. And I can think of at least one person who will be most displeased should I fail to visit before leaving.
We've no particular destination in mind, but we do intend to stop in Sharlayan before we set off.
We had thought to ask after the Loporrits. I am curious as to how well those who chose to remain are adapting to their changed circumstances.
Might we accompany you then? Raha and I were planning to return to the Baldessian Annex.
Commissions have been piling up in our absence, and they must be dealt with ere we begin our work in earnest.
Estinian, you will return to Radzat Han, will you not?
Aye. For Vritra's benefit, though I've yet to hear the details. I may not stay long.
I see. Then it is here the Scions at last part ways, each to some far-flung corner of the realm.
Perhaps. But I believe one of our number, a rather important one at that, has yet to divulge her plans.
Quite right.
Indeed. Fair point.
So, what's next for our humble adventurer?
Of course I'm going to farm some scripts for a start. Then poetics. Well, tombstones. Not necessarily poetics though, those should come in handy too. Yet stand tall, my friend, our journey will never end.
The constancy of this place never ceases to amaze me. An ocean of souls, shimmering and eternal.
Wait, what?
And yet, something stirs. Yes. Steeped in darkness, deep as starless night. The beast hungers. Alas, I dare not investigate in earnest before the coming of my guiding star, as she foretold. We shall descend to the depths, you and I, to confront the dread beast Pandemonium.
Okay, so is that going to be the raid series or?
Oh, the sights we shall see. The sights we shall see.
You have completed the main scenario quest Endwalker. Quests to unlock new content have now become available in Old Sharlayan. So basically extreme trials, I guess? Additionally, you may now enter the Dead Ends with a party of NPC avatars, like... okay. Rest well, champion of Eteris. for many and more adventures await you. That its chorus might ring it for all. Okay, I think I'm gonna make a note about what to do next, because I want to take a break, a week-long break from streaming, well, 5 days, let's say. And then on Saturday, hopefully, I would like to... Okay, let me write it down. So I made a group on Discord just for me, with notes, links and pics. And I just made a stream plan. Topic? What is it called? Channel. So the plan is to do the box quest. Extremes we can unlock. Okay. Extremes we can unlock now, but well, if it doesn't take too long. But I would like to hopefully do them on stream. Let's see how that goes. What else? Of course, later raids and alliance raids. And if I think about something later, I'm gonna do it too. But for now, this should be plenty. So, let's see. Do I go here for that, or...? Okay, doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, the solar is probably from Heaven's Ward. I would bet on Charlian. Okay, yeah. To be fair, I still don't quite understand how to do Zodiac normal. So I don't know if I want to unlock the extreme version. Okay. Okay, so we have something here, and something here. Okay, the minstrel. Cutting the cheese. What? Ah, loading in. panic-stricken Leporit. The panic-stricken Leporit is desperate for the aid of an able-bodied adventurer. Oh, this might be even a dungeon. Nike, oh thank goodness you're here. It's absolutely terrible, awful, an emergency of cataclysmic proportions. What is it? I don't know, actually, they didn't say, but doesn't it sound simply dreadful? What I do know is Building Way has been asking after you. He said if I happen to see you, I should tell you to hurry over to Kidonia Knolls? With all haste. Well, what are you standing around here for? Away with you. Okay, I guess I can do the hunt unlock off camera. Not like it should be of great importance. Oh. Jamming Way. Where no Leporit has gone before. Jamming Way is in need of your brains and brawn, mostly the latter. Nike, you are Nike, yes? Oh, thank you ever so much for coming. In truth, I've been searching all over for you. You see, there is a most pressing matter for which I could use your wisdom and expertise. Oh, but we haven't actually been introduced yet, have we? The name's Jamming Way. I had the honor of serving as the communications officer aboard the Ragnarok. So anyhow, to the matter I spoke of, it began the other day when my curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to send a reconnaissance probe to Ultima Thule to investigate the environs. Imagine my surprise when my robotic friend responded just a short while ago with a most urgent and dire distress signal. A distress signal from Ultima Thule. Now, even after you and your companions mercifully put an end to the threat of the final days? Surely this intrigues and worries you as much as it does me. I was just about to venture there to investigate further, but there's no telling what dangers might await. And I'm a communications officer, not an adventurer. Please join me at Taumazane, so we may boldly go where you have never gone before. Okay, that was a great line. And one more. Then we port to Radzathan to see what happens. And probably finish the stream. Oh, he might have two quests for us, I don't know. Who should stand before me but the savior of the very star, the inimitable ender of the end. Your deeds are sung of far and wide, my friend. As I understand it, your quest for the world's salvation brought you to Sherlion. I too am here on a quest of sorts, the quest for musical inspiration. So that's one quest, but then we can... I don't know. As I understand it, your quest for... blah blah blah... Okay. Alas, magnificent though this repository of knowledge may be, I find there is only so much inspiration I can derive from tomes. But where tomes alone fail to inspire, living words may yet spark the imagination. So I beg you, will you not regale me with the tale of your quest to deliver the star? If such an adventure isn't fit to be an epic, I would not know what is. Okay, seriously, I'm excited to fight Meteon on the extreme version. Drawing a... but I don't know if it's gonna happen, if it's unlocked now or they're working on it or waiting with it. Anyway, drawing upon both your first-hand account and the knowledge I attained here, I believe that I shall be able to weave the most marvelous of verses. Should you be willing, pray let me know. I shall continue my research here in the meantime. Okay. Greetings, my friend. If you have a tale to share, this minstrel is all ears. So we can unlock Zodiac and Hydaelyn, but not the third one yet. Let's go with Hydaelyn first. Or Zodiac first. Oh, what a manner of thrilling adventure might this be? Good gods, a battle on the moon with Zodiac, eldest and mightiest of primals. I pride myself on my imagination, but your feats transcend aught my mind could possibly conceive. Against all odds, you struck down the puissant being, yet triumph quickly turned to tragedy, for Zodiac's fall proved to be the trigger for the final days. Yes, the words well up within me. Pray lend them an ear. Do I have to? Born of ancient men, a divinity was freed, their hopes unrequited, they knew no reprieve. Born of mortal men, a champion did arise, ascending to the heavens, ruination to define. Is it me, or was it a jab, or at least reference to Riot? I'm not quite sure what Ruination was about, but I hear it didn't go too well. I don't know. That the ancients should sacrifice half their number to save the star. The strength of their resolve makes me tremble in admiration. Even as it saddens me to think that one of their own would seek to lay it all to waste. So deep was his despair. Not having lived their lives, I feel decidedly unworthy to speak of their hearts. Better that the whole truth remain with you, and you alone. Let it suffice for me to honor a fragment of their hopes and dreams in song, that their lives and sacrifice may ever be remembered. Okay, I think... Okay, let's unlock the last one, and let's finish the stream. This promises to be most rousing adventure. In order to prove your readiness to avert the final days, you undertook a trial imposed by no less a being than the will of the star, Hydaelyn herself. It staggers the mind to imagine such an encounter, to say naught of the thousands of years that Venat had resolved to wait. Yes, I dare say I have a song. You will listen to it, of course. To it now, of course. Though eons apart, two kindred souls met. Apart they would walk, a life to protect. Eons thence their path would converge, as goddess and mortal to silence the dirge? I don't know. For time beyond counting, Hydaelyn waited for you in patience and faith, and when at last you were reunited, even as she desperately wished for you to surpass her, she knew she could not hold back, and did not. Hers was an unenviable burden, and a noble sacrifice. tears well in my eyes to imagine the hardships she has had to endure. But it comforts me to know that her long journey was not in vain, that her hopes passed on to you. This tale is an epic among epics, and full honored am I to have been given the chance to weave a song for it. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And with that, I'm gonna take my break. So, see you on next Saturday at 12 p.m. Well, at noon. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do then. Perhaps the dungeons of the expert roulette, and then maybe even try Hydralian Extreme. But we'll see. And then, hopefully, if I can do it this way, again on Sunday at 12, well, at noon again, we're gonna continue and stream a bit. So yeah, see you then, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of the weekend.